Welcome back, sports fans. I have with me the experts of Obscurity, Joe D'Arienzo and Matt Dowdle. Boys, normally games are played and no one pays much attention to anything but the final score. However, every once in a while, something a little crazy happens. What do you say we cover those right now? Got my first question. I'm going to start with you, Matt. What is the most obscure antic you've seen performed by a coach?
Let me ask you two. Have you seen a grenade before?
Yes.
Now, have you seen it being thrown at you via a rosin bag?
No.
Not recently.
Well, recently, Phil Wellman, manager of the Mississippi Braves, decided to take a rosin bag, army crawl through the grass behind the pitcher's mound, and lob it to the umpire to simulate that he's going to make the guy blow up. Not only did he lob it, but the guy must have had some sort of military experience because he landed it right in front of the man's feet.
Not a bad
Right
target.
in front of his feet.
Joe, what do you got?
Matt, that was a crazy rant, but I mean, it looked like he was acting in the middle. He was kind of adding on to it. I mean, he got a little angry, but he went way overboard.
It worked.
Les Miles, in his environment, in a clutch moment of the Alabama game, camera caught him leaning down, grabs a handful of grass, and eats it. Why? Why do you ask? Well, Les Miles knows why. He has a little tradition that humbles him as a man, that lets him know that he's a part of the game and a part of the field. Really, Les Miles? That's what makes you know you're a part of the game? Eating the grass? Look at the 50,000 fans around you, the player on the game. You're calling the plays. You're a part of the game. Don't eat the grass.
I think some people just don't understand that a field is a sacred place, but I think he may have taken it a little too far that he has that personal relationship where it's like, me and the grass are become one with each other.
Both a little crazy. Another one to keep in mind, Lou Piniella dyeing his hair blonde after a 3-game win streak back in the day. Let's go on to the second question. Joe, this one's going to go to you. What is the most obscure stoppage in play you remember seeing?
Well, in 2009, the Padres and the Astros were playing, and it was the 9th inning. The game was about to end. There were 2 outs. And Kyle Blank started running in from left field. 2,000 bees swarmed into left field right behind him. Kyle Blank is allergic to bees, so he freaked out. I mean, the Padres called a beekeeper in after a 50-minute delay. By the way, they had a beekeeper on speed dial. Pretty impressive. And they called 52-minute delay for bees. When's that ever going to happen again?
I don't know.
Hopefully never.
I think it's entertaining, a man running from bees. But, this isn't necessarily a positive thing, but back in 2004, the Pistons and Pacers, the giant brawl that broke out, just initiated by Ben Wallace coming in, or pushing Ron Artest after a hard foul, which erupted into fights in the stands. Artest, Steven Jackson jumping the fans, punching people. And then on the court, fans storming the court to take swings at Artest, and then him punching one of them, Jermaine O'Neal coming and punching the other.
One of the most ridiculous fights we'll probably ever see in a game. Let's go on to the final question now. Matt, this one's for you. Most obscure athlete injury you've ever seen?
This is probably obscure and probably the saddest thing I've ever seen. It's one thing if you hurt yourself doing something random, but it's a whole nother thing if you celebrate and hurt yourself. Bill Gramatica, kicker for the Cardinals way back when, decides to kick not a 50-some-odd yard field goal, not a giant playoff game winner. It's a 40-some-odd yard field goal.
In the first half.
First half, kicks it, starts celebrating, jumps up, and tears his ACL. It's bad because he's celebrating, and even sadder because his brother, Martin Gramatica, that's his celebration. You can't copy someone else's celebration, especially your brother's, and get hurt.
Jealous
At least that happened on the game on the field, though. I mean, Chris Hansen, 2003, he's the Jaguars punter. He's a new rookie coach, Jack Del Rio. He has a phrase, keep chopping wood. It's a good motto. It's a little metaphor. He tries getting the team to understand. Brings in an axe and a stump of wood into the locker room. Chris Hansen decides to take part in this offense-defense only meeting, optional for punchers and kickers, misses the block of wood, hits himself in the foot, misses the season. How did ownership trust a rookie coach?
That's why they call special teams.
Now, unfortunately, guys, that's all the time we have for today. However, be sure to catch our TV show on ESTV, read our weekly article in The Pendulum, and make sure to catch our radio show on WSOE from 10 to midnight every Wednesday. For Joe D'Arienzo, Matt Dowdle, Junko Ayama, Jackson Brody, Kurt Leschen, and everyone here at 101 Sports, I'm Billy O'Riordan, and whose side are you on?